From the arrival of giant colossal titans that we need to fight off to the storyline direction overall in Chapter 4 with the factions introduced being the Peace Syndicate, Fox Clan and Riverguard, you need to know about all these live event details happening to end off Season 2. Real quick, Peely says he wants you to drop a like right now to help out the algorithm and for no other reason than that, so do it for his honesty. Diving straight into it all before we get onto the Titan related stuff with the integrated collaboration of Attack on Titan this season. And by the way, when you pick these up, it would be greatly appreciated if you could enter code FM1. It not only puts a giant smile on my face, but also the little face of Charlie the Charcoal Pug. Just look how insanely close we are to 2.53 million subscribers too, so hit the button now, turn on all notifications, and as you can see, this benefits you as we try to give different subscribers every single day, from proof being on screen right now to those who comment their Epic Games ID once subscribed and let me know what they'd like to receive. Rewinding the clock so you can understand the arrival of Titans and how this is going to be for a live event ending off this season before Chapter 4 Season 3. For those that don't know, at the end of Chapter 4 Season 1, with the Rift Gate being built thanks to Rift Warden Stellan trying to pull the Shapeless Man, or at the order of the Shapeless Man, well, things into this particular Fortnite universe. Despite this form of Geno that the Foundation told us, well, literally was him in the Collision live event for Chapter 3 Season 2 being the Shapeless Man, which we also saw in this form within the Fortnite x Marvel Zero War comics, which is different to Ageless, being perhaps his medieval version or his younger version, as the island once constructed of different realities from the 0 point pulling terrain together to then hide within this medieval looking vault still, despite Rift Warden Stellan potentially pulling the strings for the other version of Geno, working behind, although under the orders of the Ageless Champion seemingly. Evie, a member of the Peace Syndicate, which was initially introduced in Chapter 3 Season 2, at the very last second redirected the coordinates for what came into this Fortnite reality being her home, Mega City. And with the appearance of other Peace Syndicate members like Thunder this season, for those that don't know what the Peace Syndicate is, as it's kind of new in terms of a storyline forefront, the Peace Syndicate is a secret criminal organization from Mega City that tries to maintain peace at all costs and doesn't hesitate to use very controversial methods to achieve this. They fought alongside the Seven and the Resistance during Chapter 3 Season 2 being the Collision live event, and the Peace Syndicate is sufficiently developed and known to inspire fear and distrust in most islanders. Despite Evie's best efforts to save her home, obviously that she dragged into this universe of Fortnite, being Mega City from there, although there's two opposing factions which we have to get onto in a second, being Fox Clan and the Riverguards, it seems the Peace Syndicate couldn't be further from peace, as there's an inter-syndicate war because of a saboteur. Despite this saboteur within the faction itself attacking the Peace Syndicate and pinning the blame onto other members and causing chaos to take control, it's been discovered from Evie bringing along a character called the Looper, which we don't currently have the identity of physically, that the Peace Syndicate's network had been hacked into for quite some time, and then that blame was being pinned on other members who were perhaps innocent, and the only thing we know currently about the saboteur is perhaps they're a part of the last reality, considering they deleted all files or data surrounding them from Peace Syndicate data files. And despite the Peace Syndicate civil war, so it seems, there's a war between two of the factions directly, which actually happen to have related members within each opposing one, being Stray and Mitsuki belonging to the Riverguards, and then Stray belonging to Fox Clan, with also areas from their home or realities brought onto this Fortnite universe now in the bottom right hand section extended the island, with all three factions arriving in the same area or reality at the same time during the Syndicate quest. According to Fortnite Wiki, after being impressed by the Looper, the Fox Clan agrees to attend a dinner hosted by the Peace Syndicate in order to negotiate with the Riverguard. Supposedly all goes well and resentments are cleared, thus they both become allies to each other and the Peace Syndicate, resulting in their long-time rivalry coming to an end which has lasted thousands of years. With their combined strength, the overall motive now of the storyline is for all three factions to find the saboteur within the Peace Syndicate. Although it's safe to say this saboteur in itself is a member secretly of the last reality, or feeding back to them information or trying to ultimately amplify their stakes in a war they're about to wage, which, as we know, their tech is very advanced, such as the motherships they've created that are bigger than the prior islands, and don't forget the Cradle, which is bigger by a long shot than islands and motherships. With people speculating this chapter is a reverse of Chapter 1, so to speak, as we've got in Chapter 1 Season 9, the second to last season, this neo-futuristic theme. It's the first season, or second season overall, of Chapter 4, which we have the Neo-Japan or Tokyo theme with Mega City in the surround. It has 5 big downtime updates going all the way up to 24.50 as it ends on June 2nd, 2023. If the theory about Chapter 1 in reverse is happening, thus meaning a live event on similar scale to the final showdown with two giant things going at each other, could this mean the dragon at Mega City, as it's armed with thrusters and also guns, could be emerging from the top of this building as it's indestructible? On top of the fact, if we compare this artwork of Eren Jaeger looking up at it to the artwork from Attack on Titan initially, looking up at the Colossal Titan, there are a lot of similarities, almost implying that this is going to be used alongside us using the ODM mythic gear once the live event comes around to slay off some giant things that happen to make their way into this Fortnite universe, being Titans. After all, if the last reality are the ultimate foe, don't forget they could raise at the power of the Cube Queen summoning them anyways, these giants being caretakers almost the same size of some of the Titans in Attack on Titan itself. Perhaps not as big as the Colossal Titan considering this is over 50 meters tall, however, maybe the size of whatever Titan is perhaps summoned by the last reality, which we're only speculating is the case for now, with the previous power of the Cube Queen also displaying this. Maybe just Titans in size of that to match what's constructed the full version of this Cyber Dragon that we can't see kind of the body or bottom of, to then replicate in a different manner the final showdown, but now in Chapter 4 Season 2 instead of Chapter 1 Season 9. Who knows, maybe the Peace Syndicate knew this and that's why they brought Eren Jaeger and the Scout Regiment into the Fortnite universe itself, ultimately not only making sense of a collaboration to be integrated into the storyline finally, but then have a live event built off of this, which I definitely think everyone wants to see. And if this battle is to happen with the outcome currently undetermined, as we don't even know if it's going to be 100% true happening yet, all I'm saying is if it does, it confirms the Chapter 1 in reverse theory. If we do end up getting a volcanic-like POI next season as a result story event of last chapter, hopefully we get an insane build-up like we did for Collision, which also then puts us straight into downtime at the end of June 2nd, awaiting the arrival of the 25.00 Chapter 4 Season 3 update on the following day, June 3rd. The reason for this is stated on the Battle Pass. It goes through this season, Chapter 4 Season 2 until June 2nd. The live event then occurs on that day, putting us into a longer downtime than usual, around 12 hours, meaning the next season of course releases the following day early once downtime lifts on June 3rd, 2023, which could potentially include with the release of Across the Spider-Verse, including Miles Morales predominantly as the main character, as we've seen only collab skins as the unlockable skins so far in Chapter 4 being Geralt of Rivia and Eren Jaeger, Miles Morales finally unlockable halfway through Chapter 4 Season 3. And with the live event directly going into or making sense of the changes made in the cinematic, just like Eren Jaeger was shown off for the first time but not unlockable on the first day, Miles Morales could make his way swinging into the Fortnite universe. Drop a like if you're excited for the live event or Miles Morales upcoming in Fortnite, and subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any future uploads. But speaking of other videos, click this one I picked out for you on screen right now whilst you wait for the very next video I do publish on the channel.